Mornings are for dreamers. The break of dawn for champions. On 32 FM 94.9.
It's a beautiful Monday morning. Good morning to you, dear listener, and welcome to your morning tonic on your lovely dial, 32 FM 94.9. Your Fenya station. Is good to be here. The three gentlemen are already set for the paper's review for today. And of course, welcome once again. Thank you for joining us. I'm OLUTAYO. OGUNADE, DELE is here. And of course, CHIKE, OGBOGU.
My name is DELE ADEYANJU. It's a beautiful Monday here. Today is the 6th of September. 2021. Welcome to 32 FM. My name is DELE ADEYANJU.
All right, it's a very positive Monday here. My name is CHIKE, OGBOGU, and I'll be taking the Punch newspaper and the Nation newspaper this morning.
With me is the Daily Post of the Nigerian Tribune.
Let me start from Daily Trust. About to wed sister of Katsina Deputy Speaker abducted. 2023, why APC bigwigs have eyes on Jonathan. Federal government condemns Guinea coup, demands return to constitutional order. Lalong standing with the people. Why FCT should celebrate Professor Bogunje at 90. 1 month after BDC operators groan on the CBN's forex policy. Let's see some more from Daily Trust. Woman, teenage daughters abducted as gunmen break into another house in Abuja. Soldiers seize power. In Guinea, detained President shake up at INEC, 5 recs, 4 directors redeployed. 1 month after BDC operators grown, I took that 9 billion naira SEC deficit, worries over likely regulatory compromise. All right, another one, 2023, why APC bigwigs have eyes on Jonathan. 2023, PDP and the task of zoning.
From the Daily Post newspaper, insecurity. Northern elders warn government over imposition of curfew, restrictions of communication, others. Nigerian government reacts to coup d'etat in Guinea. Ex-IBA Commissioner of Sports Uche Mpabma is dead. Nigeria drifting towards precipice, Falai. Also, Tinubu boys will betray him. His political career will not exceed 2023. That's a prophecy, a prediction by Primate Ayodele. Obaseki meets Ehizoge Aideloge, best JAMB UTME candidate in Edo. Don't give room for oppressors to destroy you. Ex-Kogi Deputy Governor Achuba tells Benue leaders. Ignatius Ajuru University of Education suspends students for possession of hard drugs. Police give updates on search for killers of Olajide Shore. Also, alleged age falsification. Nancy's prosecution of Funab lecturer. I have no rift with Diri. I just maintain distance. Senator Dixon. Buhari to visit Imo on Thursday. Uzodima. Islamic group reacts to killing of Felix Showore. Just a few more. Reps Minority Caucus condemns killing of Showore's brother. Bajabia Mila greets SGF boss Mustafa at 65. And finally, presidential amnesty. Monies paid into my account belong to my boys. Ex-militant leader.
All right, from the Punch newspaper this morning, bold headline, looming hospitals shut down, strike threats ridiculous, says federal government. NARD union flay minister with the riders. Ngige accuses health workers of intimidation as federal government worried. Johesu accuses government of insensitivity. Minister misleading Buhari. This is coming from the union. And there we have pictures of the Guinean ex-president and the militia forces who took over. And he says, Nigeria rejects Guinea coup. Soldiers plan transitional government. Ogun raises the alarm on cholera outbreak. Armed men kidnap Abuja pastor, wife, daughters. Military officers plant drugs in brother's house. Reports to NDLEA. Police begin manhunt for Showore brothers killers. PDP, Afenifere knock government. Ogun. Driver absconds with 4.7 million naira company goods. As INEC redeploys Ogun, Osun, Bayelsa resident electoral commissioners, others. And we have this headline here: Healthcare Fund. Federal government blames states for non-implementation as NMA berates government. Presidency, PDP differ as regime blasts Buhari's achievements. Here, trade zone attracts $16.6 billion foreign investment in 20 years as oil power companies bank. Okay, I beg your pardon. As oil power companies bank debts rise to 6.14 trillion naira.
Well, let's take the Guardian newspaper next. Let me take this first one. Federal government advocates strategic alliance on science, technology, innovation, and they're going to host Startup South 6 next month. How to revive Nigeria's dwindling economy by OGBOGU. Polytechnic education key to development or near firms. Social media powerful tool for societal growth, says NIIADG. Akume opens Abuja office for APC chair campaign. Experts tasked electorate and voting visionary transformational leaders. Still from the Guardian newspaper. Another one here: twists, turns as PDP fielding camps plus survival strategies ahead convention. Let me take one more before we go to another paper. And that's from the sports side. Lagos tops Southwest zonal elimination for youth games.
All right, from the Nigerian Tribune front page, hard times as prices of food items soar by 122% in 12 months. Also, if you go back to work, we'll withdraw court case. Federal government tells doctors with those riders, assesses 8,000 names for residency training fund. CJN, I have to go back to that page now. Okay, Chike.
All right, from the Nation newspaper this morning, Presidency lists Buhari's achievements. Why Osun returned to 6334 education policy by Oyetola. Guinea, Nigeria, AU, ECOWAS seek return to democracy. We have this headline here: 1.6 trillion naira petrol subsidy threatens budget implementation. Federal government moves to stop collapse of health sector. With the rider Ngige rushes to Aso Villa, meets with Johesu tomorrow. Doctors reject terms. APC slams doors on parallel Congress. That's summoned CJs to face CJN today as 22-year-old core member held for importing drugs. These are some headlines from the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right. I go back to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. CJN meets Rivers Kebbi for other CJs today over conflicting ex-party orders. Also, apprehension as federal government rules investors for 2.472 trillion naira loan. Current debt level amounts to 42.42 trillion naira. And Utomi, Mogalu, Ganiu, others warn about looming danger. NDLEA intercepts drugged candies from UK. Nabs 22-year-old importer. Government to prosecute teacher for allegedly defiling 14 pupils in Niger. Gunmen kidnap Niger traditional ruler in his palace. And APC local government congress, Tinubu's loyalists in court in Ekiti. 6 Buni sack. Soldiers seize power in Guinea. Arrest President Conde. And shutdown of communication. Closure of schools will worsen citizens' lives in the north. I take that again. Shutdown of communications, closure of schools will worsen citizens' lives in the north. Those are headlines from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. We'll take a break for some messages. When we come back, we get our analyst on phone and we'll bring you more details.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
DSTV has your perfect TV match. If you know your flambe from your saute, we're serving up some.
Yummy.
If high-octane dockies are more your speed, get in the driver's seat. Are you all about that drama? We'll bring it from the courtroom to the emergency room for a serious series dose. Because with a fresh new lineup of the best TV, no matter what you're into, DSTV has your perfect TV match. So get connected and stay connected to DSTV. This is your TV moment.
Sunshine, you make me smile. You brighten my day. My sunshine in a bottle. In every way. No be lie, yo. You keep me refreshed, yo. I can't deny my sunshine drink. Oh, yeah, show me your shine. Come make it chop better life. Mommy and daddy and everybody, show me your bottle, joy. Chop better life with sunshine in a bottle with the refreshingly delicious Lipton iced tea. Available in peach and lemon flavors. Lipton iced tea. Lipton iced tea. Deliciously refreshing.
Orílẹ̀-èdè Canada ó fún èèyàn tó lé ní mílíọ̀nù kan ní ìwé ọmọ onílẹ̀ láàrin ọdún 2021 sí 2023. Kò jẹ́jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí. Orílẹ̀-èdè Canada yóò fún àwọn ènìyàn tó ń lé ní mílíọ̀nù kan ní ìwé ọmọ onílẹ̀ láàrin ọdún 2021 sí 2023. Ọ̀gọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ ohun àlùmọ́nì ilẹ̀ ló sodo sí orílẹ̀-èdè Canada. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìbá díẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti ìṣàmúlò rẹ̀ láàrin ẹgbàágbèje ohun àlùmọ́nì ọ̀hún. Èyí rí bẹ́ẹ̀ látàrí ọ̀wọ́n ènìyàn tó ń bá orílẹ̀-èdè náà fínra. Bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé Canada ní orílẹ̀-èdè kejì tó ní ilẹ̀ jùlọ lágbàáyé, ṣùgbọ́n ìwọ̀nba ènìyàn ni wọ́n ń gbé ní orílẹ̀-èdè náà. Onírúurú ètò láti rìnrìn àjò sí orílẹ̀-èdè Canada ló ti wà nílẹ̀. Ìwọ náà lè lo àǹfààní ètò àti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kó o sì máa ṣiṣẹ́. Aṣáájú agbanímọ̀ràn bí a ti ń rìnrìn àjò káàkiri àgbáyé ní Jonathan King Limited. Kàn sí wọn, wọ́n fọ̀nà hàn ọ́.
Gba fọ́ọ̀mù tiẹ̀ lónìí ní Jonathan King Limited, àjà kínní àti ìkẹfà Cocoa House Ìbàdàn àti ní The Bronx Bookshop lẹ́bàá Saviour Cathedral níjẹ̀bú Òde. 20 oṣù kẹsàn-án 28th of September ní ìforúkọsílẹ̀ yìí ó wà sópin o.
Egbògi kan ti délẹ̀ yìí, egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe ni ó dára fẹ̀jẹ̀ gidi gan. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o.
Ojú rẹ̀ ṣàǹjọ̀lọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ kí làṣírí ẹ wà rí.
Veneto cleanser ni.
Já mi sí ọ̀rẹ́.
Veneto cleanser egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí bádọ̀tí ara wọ̀ yá ìjà rẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n yẹbẹyẹbẹ. Inú tó ń kú tó ń dàrú gbòdògbòdò kò bára rẹ̀ èrí inú ẹ̀jẹ̀. Amọ̀nà ti dé o. Veneto cleanser egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí a fi ewé àti egbò ṣe ní ọ̀nà tìgbàlódé. NAFDAC fòǹtẹ̀lù MA1 Nigeria Limited ni wọ́n gbé Veneto cleanser jáde. A wà ní nọ́mbà 17 Ọba Akínyẹlé off Adeogun Street Aláàfin Avenue Olúyọ̀lé Estate Ring Road Ìbàdàn. Telephone 08034051533 fún títà àti rírà. Ìwọ náà darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Veneton cleanser àmọ̀tẹ́kùn egbòogi tí ń ya gbogbo kòkòrò inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́.
32 FM 94.9.
Welcome back from the commercial break. It's 32 FM 94.9 Break of Dawn newspaper review. We are live on Facebook, 32 FM 949 Ibadan. We are also live on YouTube, 32 FM 949 Ibadan. I am OLUTAYO. OGUNADE, good morning.
My name is DELE ADEYANJU once again. Thank you for joining us.
And I am CHIKE OGBOGU. Good morning.
We have Dr. OLUTAYO live with us on phone from the UK. Good morning, Doc.
Well, top of the day to you. Top of the day to you.
All right, Doctor. We want your reaction to this story, which is all in the papers today. It's covered on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. It's covered by the Daily Post and some other newspapers, and it's about the communication shutdown in the north. And the northern elders, some northern elders actually are saying that it's not right. They are warning government over imposition of that curfew and the restriction of communication.
Yes, about 2.1 million people obviously have been affected. But it's not just in Zamfara State. It's affected Sokoto and, of course, Kebbi. You see, I asked the question, when you have security, you also have to balance economic activity and other activities. And I've always asked the question that if the government had this tool in its armory, Why haven't they applied it to other areas where banditry and the activity of terrorism, as we call it, is quite rampant? So I think if it's for a short period of time, I think it's justified. The problem arises when it goes on and on and on. And I think the concern of the northern elders or the northern residents must be that how long is it going to continue for? And I think it's a window of opportunity for the government to go in with a hard fist, attack these terrorists, or if you want to call them bandits, call them whatever you want to call them, attack them, you understand, deal with their infrastructure, command and control, and then let peace return, and then they can return to their economic activity. It's painful, but it's a pain that is worth it if at the end of the day we are going to achieve the decimation of these terrorists. But if it's going to be business as usual, then we're just wasting our time.
All right, some feel it is absurd and it will be counterproductive at the end of the day, saying, why must we shut down? And some even say that it's just a test run. If you can achieve this in the north today, then sometime in the future, they could shut down all of us and information will be able to get out from our respective location. Is that true? Do you feel so?
Yeah, I hope they wouldn't do that. But obviously, it is true that if they can do it in the north, then they can do it anywhere else. But there are reasons why they will not do it elsewhere. The rate of economic activity, particularly in some states, the southern states, even the southeastern states, the government gets revenue, the government gets taxes from many of these techno companies. And if they shut it down, of course, the government also loses. And also economic activity of the entire nation or those places concerned also come to a halt. I think they can do it in limited areas, but when they decide to do it nationwide and that sort of thing, they're actually cutting off their nose to spite their face, if that's the expression. So I think those are the kind of reasons that they would not do it extended that far. But I think the security situation in Zamfara has become unbearable. I mean, they're kidnapping wives of government officials, they're kidnapping traditional rulers in some other areas. I think something needs to be done. And sometimes when something needs to be done, it has to be drastic and sometimes draconian, but within the ambits of the law, I think if it's done for a limited period, then the precedent will be you can do it for a limited period to deal with an emergency situation. I think what should have happened in Zamfara state more is a state of emergency declared, then you initiate such action. So we know that all these actions only occur when it's a state of emergency. But you see, we want to eat our cake. We also want to have it at the same time. What is happening in Zamfara state?
Yes. Something drastic, and that should be done under the ambits of the law.
Oh, a state of emergency. A state of emergency. This will justify a suspension of some movement, free movement, imposition of curfew, and some other instances. So I think a state of emergency done under the ambit of the law with the sanction of the National Assembly, I think, yes, that's acceptable.
It's the ban on Twitter, that's about 4 months now.
Yes. Yes.
See, when you look at all of these sanctions from the federal government, what it looks like information is under serious threat in this country. Communication also could be under serious threat in this country. Would this be a lasting way out of it? Because some are even saying that, see, with just a laptop and some internet connection, you can track these terrorists without shutting down entirely, communication in Zamfara,
I'm sure that there are less costly ways, you understand, to be able to track these bandits down, or terrorists, as I choose to call them. But since the government has been unable to employ them, things like drones and other things, then maybe let's see whether they will succeed here. But I agree with you that it's drastic. You've spoken about Twitter. The Twitter concerns were not as a result of security, in my view. They were because, in my own view, that's my own personal view, that the government felt slighted.
Hello, Doc. Hello. All right, we'll try and reconnect with Dr. Jadoko back on phone. In the meantime, let me take this particular one from Premium Times, and it's on the coup in Guinea. Okay, and the story is the Nigerian government has rejected Sunday's toppling of the Alpha Conde regime in Guinea. The country's foreign ministry on Sunday said the purge was a violation of the ECOWAS protocol to which Guinea is signatory to. Let me quote, the Nigerian government is saddened by the apparent coup d'etat that has taken place in the Republic of Guinea today. in clear violation of the ECOWAS Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance. The ministry said it's a long story. Nigeria, UN condemned Guinea coup, demand release of detained President Condé.
All right, do you have anything, Chike?
Yeah, I would love to ask Doctor one or two questions because when you look at the coup in Guinea, you find out that even in 1958, they rejected the Franco-African alliance, and then the question will now be, will France come to the rescue of Guinea at this time? Since this thing was rejected, the merger was rejected in 58.
All right, Doctor, are you there?
Yes, I'm back here.
Okay.
Yes,
Did you get the headline on the coup in Guinea?
No, I didn't get, but I've been following the coup in Guinea. I know there's been some dispute there as to whether the coup has succeeded. But what is clear is that we saw pictures of the president and we saw him being emched by soldiers, special forces. So we don't really know what to believe. Has the coup succeeded, or has there been a retreat, or has there been a kind of pushback? But whatever the position is, whether the coup has succeeded or not, I think it brings we're going back to the past. We're residing back to the past, where coups used to be a common occurrence in Africa, and that used to be the solution to bad governance. And I don't think it's a good precedent, because when you get coups, they're arbitrary. When you get coups, it depends who has the greatest amount of weaponry, who decides who comes into government. So I don't think it's a good development at all. Having said that, the panacea against coups must be good governance, must be abiding by democratic norms, must be the rule of law. When you have the rule of law, when elections matter and when elections count, then no coup can be planned and no coup can succeed. So, of course, we must condemn coup in whatever form. But we must also say that in many of these instances, there might be root causes which also need to be dealt with and need to be responded to.
All right, Doctor, quickly, I asked this question. Do you see France coming to the rescue of Guinea as a francophone country, given to the fact that in 1958, Guinea rejected an alliance with the French government under the then president of France, that's Charles de Gaulle. Do you think France will come to the rescue of Guinea at this time?
No, you see, Sékou Touré initially took a very independent foreign policy, independent domestic foreign policy, withdrew himself from the, the CFAC or CFA, yes, and took some independent actions. So Guinea and France haven't really had the most ideal of relationships. I doubt if France is going to come further. Why? France is already withdrawing from Mali. France is even already withdrawing even from areas in Chad and so on. So I think France is taking a backseat in many of these instances. And I think the trajectory, not just for France, for the West now, is to find other ways to intervene rather than to put the boots on the ground. So I'm not sure that they will. But some have suggested that there might be some limited intervention. I don't think that's going to happen. What is quite clear is that if you look at the history of what is going on now, in October, this guy amended the constitution to go for another term. And people say that the elections were disputed. Some say that the elections were rigged. And they are saying that is the basis and that's the excuse for them intervening. We haven't heard the noises from France yet or from the West. But what we've heard is from a civil servant in the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs that has condemned the coup. We've not even heard from our Foreign Affairs Minister yet. So let's see what the response is going to be. But it's worrying. This is the second coup. Remember Mali? Remember Chad? The third coup, rather. So it's getting worrying because this is in West Africa. So it is worrying to some extent.
Is this a threat to democracy? One thing you cannot rule out is that in places where you have coups recently, most of the guys that were ousted were people who were trying to perpetuate themselves in office.
Yes. So some would then say is military coup an antidote to that? You see, my own view is that the worst form of civilian government, you understand, some will laugh at me, the worst form of civilian government is better than the military rule because of the arbitrary nature of military rule. But yes, some will say, if you look at the signs, if you look at the signals, it is because the civilian or the democratic, if you use that expression, have become very stubborn, have become very arbitrary and tyrannical. That's why some of those military people have risen up. I would be guided. If the military people came and enforced elections, I said elections must be fair and fair, rather than taking over the reins of government, I would be more comfortable. They are not trained to rule. They are not equipped to rule. And a lot of times they come and make a mishmash of the situation, of the governance situation. So I don't have hope for military regimes anywhere in the world, not particularly West Africa.
All right. Well, democracy is a norm in Africa, but the military or soldiers are still seizing power. We need to check and ask ourselves some questions.
Dr. Jedokun, with the picture